You can feel the energy inside this building and also across the street. The NFL Draft has finally arrived.
With the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select.
And so it is. The assumed is really happening.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the People's GM channel. I am the People's GM. What we do here is we take over your favorite professional sports franchises. As the general manager, we go in, make the moves you know they should, I know they should, we all know they should, but they typically don't make in order to win championships. Maybe they're winners already, let's make them better. Maybe they're perennial losers, let's teach them the way. Speaking of winners, up now, we're working our way through the AFC West. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs on the board now. So let's take a look. Oh, also we're using PFF's 2021 NFL Draft Simulator, which is great. We're going to do the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's dive in and see where the holes are, which, spoiler alert, there aren't a lot. We traded away our first-round pick for this guy right here, Orlando Brown Jr. from the Ravens. Couldn't believe they made that trade, but geez Louise. So top 10 in the league, top 5 in the league, tackle, which shores up because we lost both in the offseason. We're getting Duvernay Tardif back. We've got Joe Thurney at left guard, so potentially we maybe need to find one kind of difference maker there. In the Super Bowl a year ago, 14-2. Hard to say, hey, we got to get a lot better, but we've got to continue to build that depth, make sure we can get back there and win that big game. So again, explosive Tyreek Hill, Hardman and Robinson at receiver. Don't know that there's much to do there. Best tight end, or one of the best tight ends in the game, Travis Kelce. So maybe there's a backup role that we need to fill. Defensively, we need to continue to load up that secondary, load up that interior defensive line. But that's really where we're at. So without further ado, let's dive in right now. First pick isn't until pick number 58, unfortunately, due to that trade. But again, traded that first rounder for a player that's as good as anyone else we would have possibly gotten there. He's going to be a starter for multiple years. It's going to be great for us. So here we are, pick number 1. They're saying we need tackle, guard, and edge rushers. I don't know if I totally agree with that. I definitely don't totally disagree. Let's see what we have here on our big board. Jamin Davis, special linebacker. Richie Grant, safety. Special things there. Edge rusher, Joseph Osai. We've also got a trade offer from the Green Bay Packers to move back 4 picks and see if we couldn't pick up a little extra capital. Let's see if they're willing to do a 3-for-1. If you've watched the channel, if you watch any of these videos, you know we're always going for that at least 3-to-1 value. Let's see what they can do. They won't go for it. Let's try maybe a 200 there. There's my dog coming up to say she agrees. You agree? Yes, she does. 3-to-1, 62.92, 214 this year. Let's go. So move back a couple picks. Good news is the guy we had our eye on already is still there. That being said, the pick is in. We're scooping up Joseph Osai, defensive end out of Texas. 6'4", 250 pounds, right there. High end that some others in this class, but he's already steady and crafty, 3-4 outside linebacker. So gives us that versatility on defense. Lets us put his hand down in the ground, drop him into coverage, whatever we may need, but able to get after that quarterback. Coming right back, got a couple great guard options. Wyatt Davis, guard out of Ohio State. There it is. Not super dominant, but not going to hurt. And again, we've got Kendrick Green, guard out of Illinois, guy that we really liked, right? Played guard and center. Okay, best is that heavy zone scheme. That's fine. 6'4", 315. Look at that grade. Again, playing at that top level, played 8 games. With that said, the pick is in. It is Kendrick Green, guard out of Illinois. Boom. Just like that, we filled 2 huge needs. Again, we're going to try to fit. We still got to look at that tackle position, but ultimately, we've got to look at value over everything else right now. That being said, got another couple good guards. Trey Smith, a lot of injury history. Just don't know if he's worth it. Ben Cleveland, a little bit of a different story, right? One of those guys. He's going to be at guard, 6'6", 335 pounds. Doesn't make sense to pull the trigger there. Or let's get a little crazy. Let's look at wide receiver and see what's out there. That's right. The rich get richer, potentially. let's take a look. We've got Dax Milne, wide receiver out of BYU. Again, great route runner. Physically not as good as some of those other guys, but could be just another weapon added on. Tylan Wallace, a little bit more athletic, but it's probably, you're right, a little too early for that. That being said, the pick is in. We're going to continue to build that offensive line. Ben Cleveland, guard out of Georgia. Now our next pick is coming up at 144, and then we've got 4 picks after that, so we're really trying to go to a little place I call Value Town. A lot of picks in between there. But let's see who is available. Great news. Couple of guys we really like. Shaka Toney, pass rush specialist out of Penn State, as well as Brendan Jameis, tackle out of Nebraska. So there it is. He can start somewhere in the NFL. He's got to get bigger. He's got to get better. He's got to get heavier to be able to withstand that kind of pounding. Shaka Toney, again, guy that's going to be a pass rush specialist, right? Right. Not everybody. Right. 6'3", 250. Not necessarily. But again, one of those guys that can come off that edge on those downs where we need to continue to load up. We get that big lead. We take them down. That being said, we've also got a Derek Barnes, linebacker out of Purdue. Pretty good stinking value here. 6'1", 245. Going to be a guy that plays a little bit heavier with the run. Not as great in coverage. Trill Williams, a starting caliber cornerback as well. So not sure if he's a nickel guy, if he's a dime guy. That being said, we're in a position. We're 14-2. We're coming back. We're running it back. The pick is in. We're not going pass rush specialist. We're not going tackle. We are going to go with Trill Williams. We're going to shore up the back end of that defense, give them some depth so that we can continue to make another run at this championship team. Back at it. Here we go. What do we got? We got Chauncey Golston available. Interesting edge rusher out of Iowa, right? Can be a run defender, not a great pass rusher. And kind of the other way. Quincy Roche, undersized. Is he really, is he a defensive end? Is he kind of a slow linebacker? You're not really 100% sure what he is. But again, so let's go to that position we previously talked about. Now, here it is. The pick is in. We're taking Austin Watkins, wide receiver out of UAB. Big kid. There it is. Small school player having a high floor. But again, the rich get richer. We're getting Mahomes more weapons because we are crazy. Back at it again. Let's take a look at the offensive tackles that are available here. Larry Borum out of Missouri. Again, great kid, right? Is he physically borderline? Even at guard? Here's the deal. Let's get him a little stronger. Let's get him a little faster. The pick is in. It is Larry Borum. We're putting him out there. We've got some stalwarts at tackle. We're trying to get some depth. Let's go. All right. Here we are back at it again. Now, again, do we address the inside? Do we address the edges as well? Ernest Brown out of Northwestern, edge rusher, 6'5", 270. Again, good grading, not great. But we're at that point in the draft where we got to be smart about what we're doing. Let's take a look at that interior offensive line as well as that interior defensive line. Quinton Bohanna, big kid out of Kentucky, 6'4", 357, right? Can he get his weight under control? This is a guy that's worth the risk. The pick is in. We're taking Bohanna out of Kentucky. Big kid, able to eat up some blockers, allow those defensive ends to do what they need to get after it. Last pick of the draft here. Fun, interesting thing. We're going to go with a little bit something different here. We got Travis Kelce. Kylan Granson, again, not a real tight end, but a tweener, right? Kind of an H-back, maybe a fullback. But Andy Reid loves some toys. Let's get him another one. The pick is in. It's Kylan Granson. Now, we're going to be graded at the end. PFF does an individual grade and then an overall grade. So, obviously, we're looking for A's across the board. This is a tough spot we're in, though. Again, you got to factor in Orlando Brown into this draft because we used that first-round pick, and it just made too much sense to not pick that guy up. So, again, let's take a look. Didn't love the trade we made. They can suck it. I thought it was pretty good. Good news is we got the guy that we wanted. We got 2 of our top picks. Joseph Osai going to come right in, play that defensive end position. He can slide potentially inside. It's going to give us some of those options, right? We love to squeeze Frank Clark into the inside on passing downs. This gives us another pass rusher to throw in that mix. Kendrick Green can start for us right now at guard. Same story with Ben Cleveland. So we've got 2 potential starters there at guard. We're going to mix it up. If nothing else, we're getting that competition on the inside. Clearly, they didn't love some of the moves we made here. Trill Williams, again, we're just shoring up that defensive backfield. We're not saying he's going to start over Ward or over Snead, but here's the deal. We've just got to continue to build. You know, our defensive line's going to get after it. That's how we got as far as we did over the last couple of years, but that defensive secondary can always use a boost. Trill Williams is said boost. Again, Austin Watkins, wide receiver out of UAB, big kid, different makeup than what we have with the Tyreek Hill, Hardman, and Robinson. Just a little bit different. Let's get crazy. Let's see what happens. That's what I'm going to tell you. Quinton Bohanna, again, big kid, going to play that one technique, try to eat up blockers, keep our linebackers free. He's a fringe roster guy. Same thing with Kylan Granson. But again, I think totally worth the risk. Again, who's our backup tight end? Exactly. Travis Kelce. You got Nick Keiser on the back end there. Let's see if he's worth a roster spot. See if he's worth some gimmicky type plays. Can help us in that passing and running game. B+ for your boy. Disappointing. Wanted that A. Team is so good though. It's hard to really figure out. I would say we added a plethora of playmakers as well as address needs that they had, but to each their own. B+. That is your Kansas City Chiefs 2021 NFL mock draft brought to you by the People's GM. That is me. That being said, I think it's great. I think you guys are great. Leave a comment. Let me know. All 32 teams are going to be on the channel. So, you know, if the Kansas City Chiefs aren't your team, go take a look at your team. Let me know what you think. Also, we're going to be doing those recaps over the next couple weeks after the draft and do some live coverage during the draft this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That being said, I am the People's GM. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, guys.